After a long night and early morning, the 2025 Iowa legislative session is over, ending just after 6:30 this morning, capping a 123-day session. Members agreeing on a budget bill just over $9.4 billion. That's an almost $480 million increase from the previous year's bill.
Our budget now, the $9.425 billion, I think that's correct. We can only spend, I think it's 97.5% of that budget. That's it. We put that rule in effect when we took over some years ago from the other party that spent us into tremendous arrears.
Overall, we're spending more than we're bringing in, which is not a good sign. We're also using a lot of one-time money to pay for things, and that gets very dangerous because if we don't have that money next year, what happened to some of these programs?
One of the final bills passed was limiting eminent domain for carbon capture pipeline. The bill could impact the proposed Summit Carbon Solutions pipeline that would cross South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and North Dakota.
South Dakota passed the same bill that we just passed, not allowing that pipeline to go through South Dakota. So it pretty much put a stop to it. So in some ways, this was almost a moot point, but in case that we ever needed to, we protected a lot of landowners.
Even though both chambers are controlled by Republican members, there is no guarantee Governor Reynolds will sign it. The session ended without a vote to cut property taxes, a priority for Republicans heading into the session.
When I play baseball, we have a thing we call fake hustle, where you only hustle when you're around the coaches, you know. And I felt like this was a lot of political theater and a lot of fake hustle politicians just trying to act like they're doing something, and then ultimately nothing gets done.
Property taxes are pretty much the purview of local government, is what it is. So without overreaching our step in the state government, we can't do a whole lot to handle it.
In the final few days of the session, lawmakers passed a flurry of bills. A bill aimed at strengthening Iowa's healthcare workforce, legislation seeking permission from the federal government to have work requirements for more than 182,000 Iowa Medicaid recipients.
What we've seen in other states is it hasn't worked, especially they implemented in Arkansas, and a lot of people who are working multiple jobs, they get caught with all the red tape and trying to submit things, and ultimately they get kicked off their health benefits, and these are some of the people who need it the most.
And an over $1 billion unemployment tax cut for businesses.
We don't need $2 billion, and we don't need $2 billion in growing, because that's being done at the expense of employers who could probably use that money to help perhaps even employ more people. So that's what we've done. We've cut that back.
It incentivizes corporations to lay off workers and ship jobs overseas. And so what we're seeing right now with the agriculture economy being in a recession, John Deere has had multiple layoffs. Just yesterday was announced Wells Fargo's had layoffs here in Des Moines. And what we're seeing nationwide is that corporations, huge corporations, lay off workers and their stocks go up. And that's not the economy that we should be fighting for here in America.
Iowa will also give 4 weeks of parental leave to state employees, something not available under current law. In Sioux City, Travis Chen, KCAU 9 News.